Hi everyone, this is Ting from Ting You and Art. Thank you for joining me. Now today I'm going to talk about number 4 on how to make your dream into reality. Previous 3 weeks, I actually talked about the first one is number 1 goal on how to make your dream into reality is visualization, validation, and communication. The second week, number 2 step, it's about research, pros and cons, and solutions. And last week, we talked about brainstorming details into making your goal into reality. And today we are going to talk about money discipline. I know money is sort of, a taboo conversation for most people, and most people don't like to talk about it. But I, for one, love to talk about money. Why I love to talk about money is because I love setting goals. And because I love setting goals and accomplishing goals, the only way to know that if I can get it done is by looking at budget and money and planning. That's the only way to do it, because you can have all the strategies that you want to make your goal into reality, but if you don't have the money to do it, then it's moot point, right? So 30 years ago, when I met my husband, I was heavily in debt. After my fashion design school, I went straight to working for Holt Renfrew, selling jewelry. And you know Holt Renfrew, it's kind of like the American Nordstrom. It's beautiful department store. You get all the designers labels that you can possibly find, like the Chanel, the Karl Lagerfeld, Moschino. And, while I was working there, they also gave me an employee discount and a credit card. So I was, of course, attracted to all these shiny objects, these beautiful clothes. I was purchasing a lot of clothes. So by the time I was there for like maybe 6 months, I was accumulating about $8,000 worth of debt. And when I met my husband, both of us realized that we are adventurers and we love to travel. So we thought, you know what, we are going to go and move to the Caribbean and work there for a few years. We had background in the hospitality industry, so for us it was definitely a goal that's attainable as long as we get hired. So Paul and I kind of, decided the only way to do this is actually to put our money together, put our budget together, and and make it happen. So we put our money together, and Paul looked at my debt and said, "Oh my goodness, how are you paying this?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm paying it monthly, absolutely no problem, $100 a month, and he said to me, "Well, that is impossible because the credit card has such high interest rate that it's going to take you years before you can even get that paid off. So we need to get really aggressive towards this debt and pay it off and save money and then go." And on top of it, the Caribbean island that we picked is the Cayman Islands, which is, one of the most expensive islands to move to because their dollar is 25% more than the US dollar. And so Paul and I had to save a lot of money. So we got into this budget thing. Paul came from accounting background because his dad was an accountant, and he also has a thing with numbers. He knows it well. He knows how to budget, like right from young child. And he started working when he was a kid, so he was able to always, allot his money, budget, and make sure his goal is attainable. So we sat down and started doing budget. And within a year and a half, we were able to pay off all our debts, and we were also able to save up a lot of money. And I remember saying to my mom, we're going to go, and now, we saved up this much money. And she's like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, we just had a strict budget and we stayed with it. And we were disciplined." And she was so proud. So that was one of Mom's proud moments. She was just like, in shock and at the same time so happy for us. Okay, now let's get into budgeting. All right. Now, to make a monthly budget, I want you to think about all your expenses. So think about things that may come annually, biannually, or even quarterly. Those all have to come into your monthly budget, okay? The reason why we do that is because then when it's time to pay your car insurance or your house insurance, the money is already in your bank. It's already allotted. So you don't run around scrambling going, "Where is my money? I don't know how to pay this," right? So that would just basically stop you from getting anxious when the bills come. So I made a little list on what I think the monthly budget is, what my monthly budget is, which is like mortgage. So if you have a mortgage or rent, your house insurance, your car insurance, your monthly hydropower, food expense, your cable, your phone, your house tax, and also to put tax money away. Okay, so that when any of those bills show up, you're not in shock, you're not you're not stressed out, right? So after you put all of those budget away, don't underestimate, okay? Always overestimate, because if you overestimate, it's much better than underestimating. Underestimating is just not going to work. So once you've done your monthly expense of the mortgage, the house insurance, car insurance, hydro, power, the food expense, cable, phone, house tax, and tax money, then whatever's left over, then you start allotting that. Okay, so you can put 10% to vacation, 10% into your goal setting. Maybe you want to do some charitable donations, 5% in that, and also the leftovers is all for savings. But remember, you should have at least 3 months savings, which is your emergency money put aside, so that in case anything happens, you know that you have emergency money, so that you're not scrambling or asking for money or asking for a loan or anything like that, right? So your 3 months expense. Now, if you haven't got that done yet, maybe you want to, instead of putting money aside for vacation and your goal money, just put all of that into your emergency money until you accumulated the 3 months of emergency money. Then start allotting money for your vacations and your goal money. When Paul and I first started our business, we, instead of putting vacation money, we put everything into goal money. Same with our savings, so that we were able to open our business. And after we opened our business, we were still extremely strict with it. So every money that we make, all our profits go straight back to reinvesting in ourselves, and so that we could grow our business very quickly. And that really helped. So when we grew our business very quickly, we made more and more money. And then with that, we were able to start allotting money to vacation, growth, as well as savings, and that accumulates more and more. But I find that the best thing for all of us to do is that always reinvest your money, okay? Whenever you have extra money, invest either in savings or invest in yourself. If you have a business, invest in yourself. The more you invest yourself and the growth becomes bigger and bigger, the easier it is to conduct business, and the more money your business will make as well. So, with money discipline, it really is about discipline. Being extremely careful in what you do. So let's say your monthly budget is $1,000 for groceries. If you're eating out, that money comes from the grocery money. So let's say if you have this habit of eating out once a week, well, you can see that your grocery money is going to dwindle down very quickly. So you might want to be more disciplined and do it once every 2 weeks, once a month. It depends how much money you make, right? So you have to do accordingly. But it's very important to have your monthly budget and be disciplined and stay with it, because that's the only way that you can make your dreams into reality, because it's all about strategies and discipline. Now, next week, we're going to talk about set up steps to get your goal into action. Okay, so this week we talked about money, and I hope you're going to start doing this budget thing, because it's extremely important. Either you have a business or no business at all, it doesn't matter. This is something that everyone should do, because this will put you in a much better shape, and that you wouldn't accumulate debt, and you would actually grow and gain prosperity instead. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this one helps. And if it helps, please let me know on the comment or put a thumb up. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't seen the last few steps, it was the last previous 3 weeks of every week I did a goal per week on how to accomplish your dream. Okay, so take a look at them, and I shall see you next week.